Welcome to Chilling Chronicles! Enter the darkness, if you dare! If you dare!
A new click, a new story. Welcome to Chilling Chronicles. This could be a true story, you decide. Enter the darkness, if you dare. In a small university in the outskirts of Sydney, Australia, James attends his philosophy class taught by Professor Thompson. The classroom is dimly lit, adding an eerie atmosphere to the discussion about the meaning of life and death. As the students share their opinions, James remains silent, his mind filled with thoughts of the unknown and the mysteries of existence. Professor Thompson, displeased with James' lack of participation, shifts the topic to the concept of life after death. James speaks up, his voice barely above a whisper. He shares his belief that humans have been dead for much longer than they have been alive. Professor Thompson scoffs at his response and ends the class, handing out an unexpected assignment, a single question on a blank page: why? Feeling unsettled, James heads to the bike racks after class to retrieve his bicycle and head home. But he is abruptly approached by a man who looks exactly like him, even down to the clothes he is wearing. The doppelganger warns James not to go to the Heathscape Motel before disappearing into thin air, leaving James in shock. James tries to chase after the mysterious man, but loses sight of him. He returns home and tries to share the bizarre encounter with his roommates, Sarah and Michael, but they dismiss him, caught up in their own conversation. James' sense of unease grows as he wonders about the man who looked identical to him and his warning about the motel. Later that afternoon, James visits his grandma at the nearby retirement home. While there, he receives a strange phone call asking for his middle name before abruptly hanging up. He shares the strange events with his grandma, who reassures him that there is no history of mental illness in their family. James' grandma also mentions his ex-girlfriend, Emily, and wonders when he will propose to her. James hesitates but decides to keep up the pretense and tells his grandma that he and Emily are thinking about getting engaged. He distracts himself by reading a book to his grandma, but his curiosity gets the better of him, and he decides to visit the Skate-a-thon Inn. Despite the warning he received. To his surprise, James finds Emily working as the receptionist at the motel. They have an awkward conversation, and Emily insists that James has never been to the motel before. Their encounter is cut short by the motel manager, and James leaves to avoid getting Emily into trouble. Instead of going home, James waits outside the motel until Emily's shift ends, and he invites her to a nearby diner. Over dinner, James shares the strange events that have been happening to him, but Emily is unsure if she believes him. They catch up on their current lives, ignoring the strange noises in the background. As they drive back, Emily begins to confess something to James, but before she can finish, they spot something blocking the road. She swerves to avoid it, but they end up crashing. James loses consciousness, and the next thing he knows, he wakes up in the hospital with Sarah and Michael by his side. The two friends act strangely, and James soon learns that Emily has passed away due to the accident. James is also visited by detectives who inform him that Emily's family is pressing charges, and he is not allowed to leave the hospital until a lawyer arrives to advise him. Feeling lost in trouble, James is approached by another patient in the hospital, who goes by the name of Dr. Anderson. He senses that something strange is happening to James and offers him a hint to uncover the truth. James must go to the Skate-a-thon Inn and find a hole in the bathroom of room 41. James waits, unsure of what he will discover at the motel, but determined to uncover the truth behind the mysterious events and unravel the mystery. As James enters the lobby of the Skate-a-thon Inn, he can't help but chuckle at the quirky decor. The walls are adorned with neon skateboards, and the reception desk is shaped like a giant roller skate. He approaches the receptionist, a cheerful woman named Sally, who greets him with a friendly smile. James asks her about the strange occurrences he heard about and if there are any available rooms. Sally nods and hands him a room key with a skate-shaped keychain. As James makes his way to his room, he notices other guests who seem to be avid skaters, some even practicing their moves in the hallways. He also notices a peculiar smell of rubber and wax, reminiscent of a skating rink. Once inside his room, James starts his investigation. He searches for clues, examining every nook and cranny. He finds some interesting items, including skateboarding magazines, old trophies, and even a hidden stash of skateboard parts under the bed. As he continues to investigate, he encounters some eccentric characters, such as Tony, the skateboarding enthusiast who claims to have seen a ghostly skater in the hallway, and Cindy, the receptionist's assistant who is a roller derby champion and suspects foul play among the guests. As the night goes on, James becomes more convinced that there is something unusual going on at the Skate-a-thon Inn. He overhears conversations about a secret skateboarding competition with a hefty prize, and rumors of a long-lost skateboarder's ghost haunting the hotel. Determined to get to the bottom of things, James decides to participate in the skateboarding competition, hoping it will lead him to the truth. He spends the night practicing his skills, honing his moves, and learning the layout of the hotel, preparing for the big event. The next day, the competition begins, and James joins the other skaters in a thrilling race through the hotel's corridors, ramps, and obstacles. It's a wild ride, with skateboarders zipping past each other, performing daring tricks, and dodging unexpected challenges. In the midst of the competition, James notices some suspicious activities, including skaters disappearing into hidden passageways and mysterious sounds coming from the hotel's basement. He follows the clues and eventually discovers a secret room where the competition's organizer, Mr. Thrash, has been rigging the results to ensure his own victory and keep the prize money for himself. With the help of Cindy, Tony, and some other skaters who were also suspicious of Mr. Thrash, James confronts him and exposes his deceitful scheme. Mr. Thrash is caught red-handed, and the ghostly skater sightings are revealed to be just a clever diversion to cover up his illegal activities. In the end, the Skate-a-thon Inn returns to its former glory as a beloved destination for skateboard enthusiasts, thanks to James' determination and sleuthing skills. He receives a reward from the hotel's owner, Mr. Wheeler, and a heartfelt thank you from the other skaters for uncovering the truth and saving the hotel's reputation. As James checks out of the hotel, he reflects on the thrilling adventure he had at the inn. He leaves with a smile on his face, knowing that he has not only solved the mystery but also made some new skateboarding friends along the way. From that day on, whenever he hears the name Skate-a-thon Inn, he can't help but chuckle and remember the wild ride he had at the hotel with the funny name. With the case solved and his mission accomplished, James bids farewell to the inn and heads back home. He is proud of his detective skills and grateful for the thrilling experience. Upon returning, James shares the story of his adventure with his friends and family, regaling them with tales of skateboard competitions, hidden rooms, and a ghostly mystery. He even starts to think about writing a book based on his adventures, titled Skateboard Sleuth, The Mystery of the Skate-a-thon Inn. In recognition of his heroic efforts, James is honored by the local skateboarding community and becomes somewhat of a local legend. He continues to enjoy his passion for skateboarding, but he also develops a newfound interest in solving other mysteries and helping those in need. One day, he receives a letter from Mr. Wheeler, the owner of the inn, expressing his gratitude for James' role in uncovering the truth and saving the hotel's reputation. Along with the letter, Mr. Wheeler sends James a special gift, a custom-made skateboard with the hotel's logo on it, as a token of appreciation. James smiles as he admires the unique skateboard, knowing that it will always remind him of the adventure he had at the skate-a-thon and the friendships he made along the way. He hangs the skateboard on his wall as a memento, a reminder of the funny-named motel hotel that turned out to be the site of an unexpected mystery. From that day on, James continues to solve mysteries, big and small, using his sharp mind and skateboarding skills. He becomes a renowned skateboard detective, earning a reputation for cracking cases with a unique blend of athleticism, intuition, and creativity. As for the Skate-a-thon Inn, it becomes a popular destination for skateboard enthusiasts from all over the world, thanks to the publicity generated by James' adventure. The hotel undergoes a renovation, with new skateboard-themed features added, and even hosts an annual skateboard competition in honor of James' heroic efforts. And so, the Skate-a-thon Inn continues to thrive, attracting skaters and thrill-seekers alike, all thanks to James' unforgettable adventure at the motel hotel with the funny name. As for James, he continues to chase mysteries and ride his skateboard into new adventures, knowing that sometimes, the most unexpected places can hold the most thrilling secrets. The end. Stay safe and we will meet again on this dark channel.